Welcome to Choices for World-Class Education. This is the second installment of our programming that focuses on Ignite Learning. I'm Carolyn Jefferson Jenkins, Chief Academic Officer for Secondary Education with the Douglas County School District. And this series of programs is offered by the World-Class Education and Choice Programming Department of the Douglas County School District. I am joined today by Christy Pegg, our Coordinator for Career and Tech Education, and Remy Rummel, our coach for English Second Language, ESL. We'll begin today's programming by talking about what teaching and learning looks like in the 21st century. And I'm going to start by just asking Christy and Remy to tell us a little bit about the work that they do on behalf of students in the Douglas County School District. Christy?
Yes, for career and technical education, my job is to support the students and the teachers as much as possible. So some of the things that I do is I coordinate grant funding that supports our programs, as well as I make sure that the teachers are compliant with all state and federal requirements within Career Tech Ed programming. Career Tech Ed programming is no longer the alternative way to go in the high school setting, but it's actually an extension of the classroom. So it gives kids hands-on application of what they're learning in their core classes as well as what they're learning in the Career Tech Ed classroom. I also make sure that teachers have any of the equipment that they need, any type of support that I can offer them, as well as I lead a Career Tech Ed leadership team, which is made up of teachers, so that they have a voice to me every month. We meet just to know their needs, as well as just to make sure that the initiatives that the district are implementing, that they're well aware of those initiatives, and to give them the professional development that they need.
So Christy, when we talk about a world-class education, oftentimes people don't think about career and tech ed. So how does that fit into our vision for world-class education for all students?
I think career tech, I mean, we offer the choice in choice programming. We give the students an opportunity to explore any type of career opportunity available. We have business, we have marketing, engineering, fashion design, interior design, video production, early childhood education, catering, agriculture education.
That's a long list.
It's a long list. These are the extension of what they're learning in their core academic areas. So it gives the students an opportunity to take what they're learning as well as what they're learning in the Career Tech Ed classroom, and then they can apply it actually in what we call Career Tech Ed student organizations, which are things such as FBLA, DECA, Technology Student Association, Future Farmers of America. These are all student organizations where students go and compete against other students in the state and the nation, and basically taking what they're learning, the skills that they're learning in the classroom, and applying it into projects that will hopefully lead them to internships and further post-secondary opportunities.
So as we talk about how we ignite learning and engage students, that's perfect opportunity. The continuum of programming that exists provides all students an opportunity.
It truly gives students that opportunity to learn or to see the connection of what they're learning and get them to truly believe that it is valuable and that it is important. So it just gives the student, more than anything, I think it just gives the students an opportunity to test drive what they might be interested in versus getting into the college classroom and going, oh no, what have I done? We don't want to waste anyone's money, obviously, so we would rather them test drive it at the high school level and really get a sampling and get a feel for where their strengths lie, and it gives them a safe environment and opportunity to do that.
Okay, and so when we talk about a continuum of programming, we're talking about pre-K-12. Most of the Career Tech Ed programming is at the secondary level?
Correct.
Okay.
We do offer opportunity. There are what I would call preliminary opportunities in the middle school levels. Family and consumer sciences, which are your culinary arts, your relationship development, your early childhood ed, those teacher cadet, those kind of opportunities. Some of those opportunities lie in tech ed, lie at the middle school level, and those feed into our high school programs. As well as we're doing an 8th grade career expo on November 20th, and that's another opportunity to give kids a sampling of what they might be interested in, so that when they start to register in 9th grade, they could explore that earlier.
Okay, so thank you for that introduction. Remy, you deal with the other end of the spectrum, primarily elementary, but you also are pre-K-12 in your role.
Yes, English as a second language has grown in the district from 200 students probably 10 years ago to about 2,500 students in elementary through secondary grades, elementary, middle school, and high school. And we really do have students at every grade level, in almost every classroom, in every single school in Douglas County, including our charter schools and our schools of choice, as well as our traditional public school settings. We really work collaboratively with teachers to support not only ESL teachers, but classroom teachers in implementing instruction that meets English language learners' needs. We also reach out to administration to really enhance their understanding of how programming should look at each level, and supporting the students and their families. We host family nights quarterly throughout our district. We have evening programs that really allow students to showcase what they're learning, and we outline how parents can help their students at home, and community resources available, not only for school-related issues, but healthcare and library services, anything that would help an English learning family get the support that they need. English classes for parents, childcare is usually provided. So we really do have a nice community program as well as the school day. And it's a great opportunity for our community to understand the cultural implications of what families need and how education is put together for them.
So the two of you work closely together, and it may seem like that's not an easy task because Christy's dealing with career tech ed and secondary, and you're dealing with PK-12 families and English language learners. But we're all involved in this journey of world-class education, and we're all trying to engage students and families. How does your work intersect at all?
I view the career in tech ed really provides opportunities for students to solve real world problems and on a daily basis.
Correct.
And looking at the English learners, English language learners can be in any setting, in any program, and it's very important to support teachers in providing instruction in whatever setting a student is in.
And as a former career tech ed teacher in the business and marketing classroom, I can honestly say that some of my ESL students, it actually gave them an opportunity to shine because they were actually using skills in the competitions that the competitions they were part of. So it actually, versus having to sit down and truly have an English conversation just in the classroom, they were actually able to go out and show what they knew versus just having to talk about it, which I think really gave them an opportunity to spotlight what they really knew.
Absolutely. And as we move towards a much more global economy, looking at the future of our students and providing opportunities that are truly real life possible career paths, it does really promote and support the need for cultural awareness and understanding of the global piece of our education.
So one of the things that we do out of our department is offer webinars for teachers because we know that our work, a large part of our work is in supporting teachers to make sure that they are delivering a world-class education within their classrooms. And just recently, the two of you conducted a webinar for teachers. Can you talk to me a little bit about what that was?
Sure. So our webinar this past month was on rigor and relevance and how that does ignite learning. We really wanted to showcase the fact that if we can increase, it's based on a framework called the Rigor and Relevance Framework. And if we can increase the rigor and relevance of our classroom, it's all about application and truly giving students authentic scenarios to apply what they're learning. And if we can increase the rigor of that, then the students and the teachers excel. And so the support we give our teachers is providing them with opportunities to learn more about how they can increase their rigor and relevance and how to incorporate those 21st century skills. We don't ever want our teachers, students, or anyone to feel like those 21st century skills are an addendum to learning, that they're actually naturally integrated into the learning environment. So that's
and what are those 21st century skills that we emphasize?
We emphasize the 4 C's. Remy, do you want to?
Which truly means thinking collaboratively and working collaboratively in groups, creativity, and not just artistic creativity, but really how do we solve a problem creatively in authentic settings, critical thinking skills, making sure that we are analyzing and synthesizing our thoughts so that it moves beyond just understanding the knowledge base, and what's the last one that I'm forgetting? Communication.
The easy one.
That's right. And making sure students really do understand how to communicate. And according to the task, what does the communication require?
And it's not just a bunch, it's not, and I'll agree with you, some of my teachers are like, when we're doing lesson planning and unit planning, They're really thinking that because they have students working in a group, that that's collaboration and communication, but it's truly providing them an opportunity to solve that real world problem. It's where I think true collaboration, giving them true meaning and purpose to what they're doing, I think is where collaboration truly lies.
Absolutely. And this is not just for your naturally high achieving student. This is for every student in every context, giving them the opportunities to really solve problems and to truly think.
So that really emphasizes our continuum of programming. So we have programming that fits the needs of every student. And as a parent, it behooves parents to find out as much about programming as they can so that they can, in fact, make the correct choice for their individual child's needs. So what does this work look like for parents? Because we talk about rigor and relevance, and we often talk in educator ease. So what should a parent be looking for when they go into a classroom? What's different now than what the child was getting before?
Definitely the setting, I think. When you walk into, no matter if it's elementary, middle school, or high school classrooms, it's not necessarily quiet. You're looking at students collaborating, talking, problem solving together. They may have guest speakers come in, they may be using resources outside of their classroom, but it's not necessarily a very quiet environment all the time. There might be the time and place for that, but truly is collaboration in a very active setting.
And I'm going to add to that, Remy, I think it's also a matter of teachers are no longer the fountain of knowledge, just spewing information at the top, and students are just staring straight forward and looking at teachers. I think it is a matter of the teacher has become more of a facilitator of learning and truly letting the students engage. It's a lot more about, like you were saying, student engagement and students having a choice in how they learn and what they learn and guiding them through that process.
Right, and you may see a teacher working with multiple groups of students, whether the students are in a gifted setting and have a gifted education plan, or an English language learner group, or your students who struggle with reading or math concepts, and really getting to the heart and the crux of student needs, and balancing that with solving the real world problems that they're being given.
And I also think student advocacy is a huge component that's being that teachers are more aware of now. We really try to encourage students to become more self-aware and just become more self-advocates, because the more ownership we can give them of their education, the more engaged hopefully they'll be after they leave our classroom.
So what are you seeing in classrooms that gives you an indication that we truly are igniting learning?
Oh, goodness gracious.
I really think about students not only learning in their classroom setting, but wanting to take it global.
Yes.
And understanding that they may have an internal desire to solve a problem, even if it's not their highest level of interest personally, but that initial drive to truly solve a problem and take it global. And that's something that I've seen in my students. They'll come and say, they'll say, Mrs. Rummel, we really need to take this and solve a community problem. We need to go and help these people in a certain situation, or we need to be a member of the community, be members of the community who really are solving the problems that we see because of what we learned in class. And that's something, when I see ignited learning, students want to take the next step in activism, I guess, is the best word that I can think of.
And I guess the way that I see it ignited is the fact that these students are engaging in these, I would say, rigorous projects. And some projects that they could take and put on a resume, a college resume, an employment resume, that to show as a portfolio of their learning. And hopefully, what I've experienced already is my students, when they go to their Career Tech Ed student competitions, they are engaging and being judged by real world people in that employment area. And so I've had students have opportunities for internships. I've had students have opportunities to have guest speakers, and the students invite these judges into their classroom versus the teacher having to always go out and find the speakers. But just truly getting students engaged in the real world before they even leave the high school classroom, as well as really seeing students engage in what's coming afterwards. Really paying attention to what colleges and post-secondary opportunities do they have that lead in whatever career interest they're already seeking.
Absolutely. And I also see students who are truly questioning, well, why is this really important? And not the frustrated level of, oh my goodness, why is this important? But really, why am I learning this? What is the true purpose? And teachers who are able to articulate, well, this will lead to the next step. And I see that as kind of ignition of thinking and ignition of learning, and that ability to articulate why your multiplication facts are important. Where does that lead? Why is understanding history important? Where does that lead? And students really having a desire to understand their purpose.
So we've made a commitment as a district to our stakeholder groups, particularly our parents, as it relates to choice. And we've talked today about choice programming in our PK continuum of choice from English second language learning perspective and from career tech ed perspective. But there are so many more opportunities available. And within the work of our department, are you two excited about the work that we're doing?
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm being challenged as much as I'm challenging my teachers and the students are being challenged. I think that we're all in a continuum of learning what a 21st century education looks like and what 21st century learning looks like. And that also, and I love the fact that it's including all areas of our district, not just in the classroom, but even at the administration level. We're being forced to truly sit there and go, why are we doing this? Are we doing what's best for students at the end of the day?
Right.
And we talked a lot about classroom, and we need to make sure that people know that all learning does not occur just in the classroom. There are opportunities throughout 24/7 for students to learn. What we are trying to do with our emphasis on the 4Cs is make sure that students have those skills and abilities to be able to adapt to learning in the world and apply and translate that learning that they get in the classroom to real-world settings. So Remy, are you excited by the work that we're doing?
I am thrilled, and I am new to our department, and seeing that we are not only expecting our students to collaborate and think critically and creatively and to communicate. I feel that there's a very elevated level of communication and collaboration within our departments to look at how can we truly serve our stakeholders, our teachers, our parents, our families, and our administration well, and to really solve the issues that we are facing, and how do we truly create world-class education. I'm thrilled with how people are working together, and it's very exciting.
Yes.
Okay. So as we conclude, is there one thing that you would like parents or the community to know about our work or how they can engage with us? We haven't talked a lot about how people can help us on this journey, and I always call it a world-class education journey. And so how can they help us on this journey?
I'll go ahead and speak to that. In the career technical education world, one of the best ways that we love to involve parents, because it really gives you a bird's eye view of what your students are learning in the classroom, is when our students do participate in the Career Tech Ed student organization competitions, such as DECA, FBLA, TSA, FFA, FCCLA. These are all the extension of what they're learning in the Career Tech Ed classroom. We need judges. We need judges for these events. You're judging anything from role plays of scenarios from automotive technologies to advertising campaigns to the FFA, numerous opportunities for judging. I mean, there's a gamut of opportunities, and we're always looking for the parent to participate in that, so they can really see that these students truly are engaging and that they do get excited about what they're doing.
Do you have to be a parent?
No, you do not have to be a parent. We will take anyone, as well as I'll tell you another area that we would love to have business partners every one of our career technical education programs at any of our high schools has to have an advisory committee. And these are business leaders that are advising our teachers as to what truly needs to be happening in the classroom to prepare the students after they leave the classroom. And so we're always looking for members to participate in that as well.
And so if they want to participate, who do they contact? How do they get in touch with us?
You can contact me, and I will gladly put you in contact with certain high schools. If you already have students in the high school or at the high school closest to you, if you'll just contact, you can contact actually any of the Career Tech Ed teachers. So any of those professional areas, if you want to go on their website and just see if they have that kind of programming, or you can contact me off of our district website, and I'll be happy to put you in contact with the right people.
Thank you. So Remy, I'm going to ask you the same question. If parents or community members want to join us on this journey, what can they do?
I think the most important thing is to listen to your child and look at the needs of your child. We have so many opportunities, so many programs within every single school, and some schools specializing in different interests and different programs, that really listening to your child and looking at what your child is really good at, what their needs are. And we are very, very good at meeting the individual needs of our students. And whatever program that kids need. And as a parent of 2 kindergartners in the district, I just am so excited for them that I know that they will be in an environment where their needs are met. And I just have to really key into what, and pay attention to what their needs are so that I know what they need within their school as well.
Well, thank you for joining us today for Choices for World-Class Education. You've heard a lot of information about our continuum of programming and the different choices that are available for students in the Douglas County School District. Please feel free to visit our website at www.douglascountyschooldistrictk12.org. And if you go to the World Class Education and Choice Programming webpage, you will find information on our programming and on all of the guests that I've had today. So please feel free to join us at our next installment, Choices for World Class Education.